Hello, everybody. In this video, we'll discuss the September 2024 Visa Bulletin. As we do every month, we analyze the different trends and changes in the visa movement. And this month, we can report that the September Visa Bulletin has a few changes, but not too much from August 2024. The main changes that we see are in the EB3 category. Once again, as I predicted in the August Visa Bulletin, we see retrogression in EB3. I'll tell you how big is this retrogression in this video and what are the trends for next month as we end the fiscal year in October of 2024. We'll also talk about what is going on in the family-based categories. As I mentioned, not many changes, but we talk about predictions for the months ahead. Many of you are watching these videos trying to predict when you'll get your visa appointments for your visa interviews. And I will try to analyze that as well for you. What is interesting in the September 2024 Visa Bulletin is that we see a very interesting trend that the State Department is implementing. And I'll tell you what this trend is if you stick around and watch my video all the way until the end. So let's talk about the September 2024 Visa Bulletin. What I'm going to do in this video, just like I did last month, I prepare a full summary of the Visa Bulletin at our blog, and we're going to run through the summary because we put it in a very organized way and different categories to make it easier for you to understand. So you'll see my summary on the screen, and I'll give you my commentary to make it easier for you to understand. As always, I welcome you to leave comments with questions about your particular country or any particular visa matter that is important to you, and I'll try to address that as well. So let's dive in straight into the video. All right, so let's get back into the video. As you can see on my screen right now, I'm sharing the summary that we have at the Visa Lawyer blog. The full written summary will be linked in the description of this video, but what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go over this and give you a detailed explanation. So let's start with what's happening with USCIS. They have their own Visa Bulletin. If you're currently inside the United States, you need to understand how to read that bulletin. So if you're inside the United States, USCIS explains the following. So for employment-based categories, if you're inside the United States, you will follow the final action dates chart. Remember, we have two charts, final action dates and dates for filing. The final action dates tells us when an immigrant visa will be available for you, and the dates for filing tells you if you're inside the United States when you can file for your immigrant visa. But if you are inside the United States, we also have to follow what USCIS tells us. And in this month, just like previous month, if you're filing for adjustment and it's employment-based, you're going to follow the chart final action dates. If those dates are current, you can file for adjustment. If you are family-based petitions, and remember, last month we've seen quite a big movement in the F2A category. And this month, I'll update you, of course, what's happening there. But if you're inside the United States and you're following an adjustment of status process, you will go with the dates for filing chart. Super important, like I said, especially in the F2A category, because that category became current in the month of August. All right, guys, so let's look at some of the highlights. I summarized all these highlights for you. It's also on the screen here, make it easier for you to understand. What is so different in the September Visa Bulletin versus previous months? So first of all, EB3 is a big thing. EB3 final action dates. The final action dates, EB3 professionals and skilled worker will retrogress by 1 year, even more than previous months. So now we're looking at December 1st, 2020 for all countries except China and India. So now you're looking at over 4 years wait, sometimes even close to 5 years with the delays if you're filing under the EB3 category, which means now, guys, you have to look at alternatives. If there's any other ways for you to get a green card based on employment, now is the time to find out. It could be EB2, it could be EB1. We need to figure out ways for you to find other options because EB3 is taking a long time. But again, that will change obviously in October. But for the next month, we are in retrogression. The final action date for other workers will retrogress by only 1 month to December 1st, 2020. All other countries except China and India and the Philippines. Now, other categories, final action dates for filing, remaining employment-based categories remain unchanged just like the August Visa Bulletin. And again, prediction is that there is an increase in demand for employment-based visas, and specifically in the EB3 categories. That's why you're going to see it continue to retrogress. We are now with over 4.5 years wait. This might change, obviously, will change in October once we have New Year's, once we have, I'm going to say it again. This again will change in October once we have new numbers for the new fiscal year, and we're going to see quite rapid movement, hopefully in beginning of the fiscal year in October. Now, in the family sponsored categories, part of our summary, there's no change at all from the month of August. And again, the reason why it's happening is because the State Department are going to make changes every quarter, not every month, but every quarter. As you remember, the biggest change we've seen in the family-based categories happened in the month of May. And so we hope to see some more changes in October, leading to November as the fiscal year starts. So it's not surprising to me that we haven't seen any movement in numbers in the month of September. So let's run through a summary of the final action dates for employment-based reference cases, and that's what I'm doing in this chart right now. EB1, aliens of extraordinary ability. EB1 India remains the same at February 1st, 2022. EB1 China will remain at November 1st, 2022. EB1 for all other countries will remain current, and you are able to file your green cards even this month leading to the end of the year. So again, EB1 is still a strong category. If you're looking to file for your green card faster, do utilize the EB1 category. Moving to EB2, EB2 India will remain at July 15, 2012. EB2 China will remain March 1st, 2020. EB2 all other countries the same at March 15, 2023. EB3 professionals and skilled workers. That is where we have the big one this month, where we see the most retrogression. EB3 India, no movement from last month, October 22, 2012. A very long wait for our Indian clients. EB3 China will remain at January 1st, 2017. Also a long wait. EB3 Philippines will remain at May 1st, 2020. And again, what you see in red is the big change. EB3, all other countries retrogress by 1 month to December 1st, 2020. The August Visa Bulletin predicted a retrogression in this category, which is what we said to you before. EB4, no change from last month, January 1st, 2021. And EB5 remains the same. India, December 1st, 2020. China, December 15, 2015. And all other countries will remain current. And again, I put you here the chart, kind of make it a little bit more visual for you as opposed to what you see on the website of the State Department. Whatever is in red is the change from last month. You see only EB3 moved December 1st, 2020. Mexico, December 1st, 2020. In the Philippines, December 1st, 2020. This is the big retrogression that I was telling you about. Now, let's move to family-based categories. Let's look at dates for filing family-sponsored reference cases. And as I mentioned before, there's no changes in the family-based categories from last month, but I'll still run through it for you just so you can see it. This is the chart itself. You can see first preference, and as I mentioned here in red, no changes from the previous month. And the reason why we see no changes is, again, it's an update that I can tell you is that the State Department is going to provide updates every quarter, specifically for family-based categories. So if you're looking at movements and you check in the Visa Bulletin every month and you don't see that it's moving, it's not because they don't want to do it. It's just because there's no numbers to report, and they will be doing this every quarter. So that's a big change that I wanted to give you in this video, so you don't have to check the Visa Bulletin every month. Specifically, if you're in a family-based category, every quarter will be sufficient. But of course, you can still check every month. The chart here of F1, just like last month, we are at September 2017. F2A, June 15, 2024, big movement. So a lot of you guys who are inside the United States, you'll be able to file for your green cards because that's the chart we'll be checking. F2B is a January 1st, 2017. F3, January 1st, 2011. And F4 is at March 1st, 2008. And again, no changes from last month. If you look at the final action dates, once again, no changes from last month. Final action dates is really important chart for you who are overseas. You're waiting for your visa interviews in the different embassies and consulates overseas, and that is the chart you need to check, because once that chart becomes current for you, that's when you know that you can move and wait for the MVC to schedule your interview. So F1 is again October 22nd, 2015, F2A November 15, 2021, F2B May 1st, 2016, F4 August 1st, 07. This is for the rest of the world. China, India, Mexico, and the Philippines remains the same like previous month. People asking me right now what are some of the predictions, what is going to happen. And again, we have a big shortage of numbers, specifically in the employment-based categories. And we're going to see an adjustment in October, because the fiscal year, for those of you who don't know, ends in October. It's not a regular fiscal year like we do, for tax purposes when it's December. We're now at, immigration fiscal year is October. So every October, you're going to see a shift. You're going to see more numbers. And the October Visa Bulletin is going to be an important one, because that's going to give us an indication of what's going to happen. And they're going to start trickling numbers at that point. So what are some of the conclusions that I can tell you? So, and before we talk about the conclusions, many of you are texting me, emailing me, asking for help. Before we jump into the conclusions, if you're here for the first time and you're watching my videos, and I appreciate it, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Without you, this channel wouldn't exist. Subscribe to it, please. Give us a big like so YouTube will be able to recommend it to more viewers. And most importantly, if you need help, send me a text 619-483-4549, or go to www.immigrationasap.com. Leave your details, and we'll help you, and we'll set up a call with you guys. Post your comments below and let me know what other questions you have. But again, for employment-based categories, we'll see a retrogression. It continues to retrogress. So we already see a 1-year retrogression again in this bulletin. And the final action dates for filing remaining employment-based categories remain unchanged in this bulletin. We're going to see updates every quarter. We're going to see more and more visa numbers being inserted into family-based categories after October 2024. So maybe in the November Visa Bulletin, we'll see more updates for family-based categories. Again, for those of you that are desperately waiting for these numbers to become current, I'm telling you, you're not going to see anything until probably the October Visa Bulletin, possibly November, to see some movement in the family-based categories. And again, until your dates are current, you can't inquire with NVC to ask them to expedite your case. It's going to be a waste of time. You need to have those dates current for the NVC to be able to move your case to an embassy, and for the embassy to open interview slots for you. When we are trying to summarize this Visa Bulletin, it's not a groundbreaking Visa Bulletin. It's a Visa Bulletin that was expected, that we're going to see retrogression in EB3. That was the big expectation from people that are worried. If you're an EB3 applicant, try to find alternatives to the EB3. Look at other options to get your green card faster. We have a lot of success with national interest waiver, self-petitions. Give us an email, send me a text. Maybe we can get you qualified. If you're family-based categories, stay patient. Movements are happening in October and November of 2024, because the fiscal year is going to shift and more numbers are going to be influxed into the Visa Bulletin. So you're going to see definitely more movement. And as always, they gave us an update saying that they will provide these on a quarterly basis, not on a monthly basis. So we might see an update in October or November, and after that, we won't see for quite a while movement in family-based categories. It's normal. This is just how they're going to be doing things moving forward. Once again, as always, please, I'm doing this for you guys every month. Send me your questions, send me your comments, and please subscribe to our channel, share it with friends, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.